Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to the first episode, the premiere of Wise World, where we have our first guest, founder of Sputnik Studios, Danny, the producer, where I met at Respect the Underground. I don't know how much I respect that show anymore because it's a bunch of fake people. I mean, I met some good people there, but, you know, I don't really perform there anymore. But this is the roots of Produce. So tell me a little about yourself, Danny.
Well, I started music like in most people like in high school. I was in a band for a while, and one of the things that got me into like the production side of everything is the fact that when I was in a band and we were at a show, a lot of people would ask us for like, oh, we really liked you, where can I hear your music? And they couldn't because we didn't have anything recorded, and it just kept happening, and it didn't just happen to us; it happened to other people too. They were like, "Where's the music? Where can I listen to your music?" And I was just like, "This is a fucking problem," because we there were really dope artists and really awesome bands, and we made good. I thought we made really good stuff, but ultimately we just never took the time to record it. And as good of an artist you may be, like you need, like, I feel like that's one of the most important things that you need to focus on is like recording your music, because it doesn't matter, like you can do like 100 shows, but your music can give you an audience that is far and beyond just your state or even your country.
I feel like it's always your biggest fan if they ain't even located in your city or your circle.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because like
you got your biggest haters in your city, in your circle, envious of your success and your creativity. That's why, you start doing well. Ooh, unfollow. Oh, don't like. But then, it's like when you first get started, they're proud. But as you do better and better, it's strangers that start liking your shit.
Exactly.
And then it's the people in your circle from high school and from college. They're like, But,
yeah,
I ain't worried about the haters.
Yeah, because ultimately that's who you're really trying to convince to listen to you, because obviously your friends and family are going to support you in the beginning, but like you said, sometimes like jealousy gets in the way and a lot of them fall off, so really your audience is the whole rest of the world. And that's where I started recording and started producing and helping people, because I wanted to get their music out there.
I've always seen life like a bus, it has a lot of stops. You start out with a lot of people on your bus, but it stops, they get off. Sometimes new people get on, but ultimately you only got like 4 or 5 people on your bus at the end of the day. But better 4 quarters than 100 pennies, am I right?
Yeah.
So what's it like to be on the producer side as opposed to the musician's side?
The producer side, ultimately, they're my artists a lot of times. Sometimes they're my friend, but at the end of the day, they're my client. So that just there's a pressure to give them, the best result, and a lot of times I feel like it really comes down to chemistry, because I have worked with really good artists, but we just didn't click. And you could definitely hear it in the music, because I feel like when you click, like the artist gives me their better performance, I
mean, you can't force the vibes.
No, you cannot.
And I feel like I've been lucky to come across the producers I have, but I won't lie, I have worked with some, and no matter how hard you tell them I want it like this, or I want you to mix it for me, it's like, it's just not like the last one you worked with, or it's not like who you want to, get it like when you first mixed it and you first went to the studio with that producer. I mean, shout out to all the ones I've worked with, Rex House, Sputnik, Shop the Chef. I mean, I feel lucky that I've come across those people, but it's all about the vibes, and you can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, do you go off of your instinct or just the artist's instruction more?
The artist instruction is definitely a good point to start off, but there's definitely been times when I have felt like the song needed to go in a certain direction and the artist wasn't convinced. And the thing is, like, so I have you shouldn't be doing this. I don't recommend doing this because it is risky. And you do have the chance of losing.
Risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah, you can risk losing a client, losing an artist. But I have literally done things that I thought was better than the artist's idea, and thankfully, maybe 9 out of 10 times, the artist actually liked my idea better. Like, once it was executed, once they actually heard it, or like, oh, that's super dope.
I mean, as an artist, I like when producers, offer what ideas they have, because I mean, I think it's a mistake when they don't, because they might be thinking something that the artist never thought of, and if a producer just like, all right, yeah, record, and then I'll mix it. I mean, you might as well just record at your house on your phone mic and then send it to somebody to mix, because I mean, there's no damn point in doing it if it's two creative minds working together and only one of them is being creative, Yeah. I mean, it's pretty pointless.
I mean, definitely whenever I work with a client, I always ask them, like, do you just want me as an engineer? Do you just want me to press record and ultimately just record what you're able to perform? Or do you want me to be the producer and give you guidance, give you direction, give you my input? Because that's really the difference between... I mean, a producer has a lot of different hats, but I feel like one of their responsibilities is making sure that the song is being treated the way it should. Because that's another thing too. Sometimes you have an artist whose ego is so big that it overshadows the song.
They're tripping out their mind.
Yeah, dude. Because I mean, sometimes I've heard like, yo, this song sounds really dope. Like the song's a really good song, but then they start doing things that either underplays the song or is like overshadowing the song, and ultimately like cripples the song. And I'm just like, yo, like, what happened to the original idea? What happened to like the vibe? Like, what you had there or what we had going was really good. Like, where did it go?
The first producer I ever worked with when I created my first song, he was a country rock producer in Nashville, and I made a mistake. He just recorded it. Yeah, nice. I'll mix it. And then he sent it to me. I thought it was good. Yeah. And that was like 7 years ago. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I listened to it now. What the hell was I even doing? He didn't mix it. He didn't add anything. He didn't offer. I mean, I know I should be more creative as an artist, but when you're first getting started, I look back, if I would have started with somebody else, God, it would have been so much better. But, I mean, you live and you learn.
Yeah, exactly. You live and you learn, and ultimately, I feel like that's a discussion that you as an artist and whoever your producer or engineer is, you have to ask them, like, because as an engineer, if you just want me as an engineer, I would be stepping out of line by telling you what I think the song should, what the song should be, where you should go with the song, because if you're paying me, you're an artist and you're paying me as an engineer, and I start producing the song, I'm stepping out of line. It's a sign of disrespect, and ultimately, like, it's just bad. It's just it's not a good thing. It's not, right. But if you tell me you want me as a producer, that's kind of my job now. My job is to My job is to kind of challenge you, in your decisions, and be like, is that really what you want to do? Or be like, yo, I like what you're doing here, but let's do this or let's do that. Right. Like you said, you have two creative minds. Why not, have them both working instead of just one?
So when I first started rapping, I was working back in the kitchen, just dishwashing and stocking a bunch of crap, and then a dishwasher that was in prison for killing somebody for 10 years. Oh my God. He said, yo, I think it'd be dope if you had a lame little ishy, because when I say I'm about my ish, it's about business. So if you about a little business, I think that'd be a good name. Like, alright, whatever.
Huh.
So for just a few weeks, I have a name, little ishy.
Little
So what-
issue.
So your first name was Sputnik?
So yeah, okay, so I used to work at this car wash, and this dude would always call me Sputnik, and I was like, what the why, you know? So if you don't know, Sputnik is a Russian satellite. It was the first man-made satellite in space. You know?
Yeah, I knew it had something to do with like space.
Yeah. So I knew what it was, but he would always call me that. And one day I asked him, I was like, "Hey, like, why Sputnik?" He was like, "You know what Sputnik is, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I know, the satellite." And it was like, "Well, whenever I look at you, whenever I see you, you always seem to have your head lost in space." And I was like, okay, that's cool. And the thing is, it's like I'm definitely a kind of like a daydreamer. Like I'm in my own thoughts a lot of the time. So I was like, that's dope. And a couple years ago, I really wanted to, be an engineer, but I also wanted to start a business. So I had a name.
Rocket.
Huh?
Build a rocket.
Kind of, yeah. My project ultimately, Sputnik Productions. But then whenever I would meet with artists, and I would tell them Sputnik Productions, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool," but they always looked at me kind of weird. And I started working for this staging company, and this dude, whenever anything went wrong, and he knew it wasn't my fault, but he would blame it on me, I was like, "Damn it, Danny."
Damn it, Danny.
Yeah, and I was like, I didn't do anything, but he was like, "Yo, that's your name now. Damn it, Danny." And I kind of liked it. It was catchy, and I started going under that moniker just because whenever.
Damn, Danny.
Yeah, that's another thing too. People always associate that, So, I'm actually right now in the middle of, because I've definitely kind of changed gears a little bit, because the focus has always been mixing and recording. But now I'm getting more into the production side because, I come from making music, being in a band, being an artist.
You gotta be versatile.
And I just kind of miss being part of that. So right now I want, I'm pretty much have a project and have it under Sputnik, know. But the idea is it's gonna be me as a producer, and then just have a bunch of really good friends, artists that I've worked with over the years being on this project.
So what software do you think works best for engineers beginning, or for engineers in general?
For engineers in general, oh man, that's a really loaded question. That's kind of saying which religion is right. No, like for real, because it depends what kind of music you want to do and what you're really trying to do.
It's like saying which ice cream is the best.
Yeah, it's very subjective. I started off with Pro Tools. Thankfully I was able to go to school, and they gave me a free version of Pro Tools, and it's what I learned. So ultimately it was the easiest thing for me, and I really like Pro Tools, and I started using other softwares just to kind of get familiar with other softwares.
What about GarageBand?
I
Since
did.
It's free.
So I did use GarageBand. Honestly, if you have a Mac, you use GarageBand. The software itself is super dope. It's so simple. It's bare bones, but if you want to get started, it has everything that you need. You can record vocals. You can actually produce tracks. Everything that you need, GarageBand has. Obviously, you can't do super elaborate mixing with it because it is limited. It's pretty much like the light version of Logic, which is Apple's version, DAW.
I believe Logic is overpriced because you can get some stuff that is parallel, if not better, than Logic. Because I hear people promote it all the time, and I purchase stuff, cheaper than that, and it works better in comparison, in my humble opinion.
No, definitely. Like I said, I think it's definitely subjective, and ultimately it's what works for you. like I said, like Pro Tools, like because I've used Pro Tools, I've used Cakewalk, Cubase, Studio One. Right now I'm actually using Studio One. If I had it my way, I would still be using Pro Tools. But one of the reasons why I use Studio One is I feel like Studio One for certain things is faster. It gives me more options, and it's not as heavy on my CPU. You know, because the thing is, Pro Tools, when I upgraded, the version that I upgraded to, I kind of did it without thinking, and it demands more processing power than what my computer can do, you know. So whenever I had a session, it would just like crash on me, you know. And I didn't have the money for a computer, and I was able to get a free version of Studio One I used to work for Sam Ash, and they gave me a free version, you know. And then I upgraded for like little to no cost.
You used to work for Sam Ash, now you're working with Sam.
Yeah, and it works. Like, I really like it, but that's another thing too. Is like Studio One, it gives you more than Pro Tools does, but the thing is, that's kind of its weakness too. Is that it gives you almost too many options. You know, like it has too much stuff to go through. So I feel like it's a little clunky. I think Pro Tools is a little more streamlined, but again, it's really based on your preference and what you started off with. I know plenty of people who started off with Pro Tools and went to Logic or went to Ableton or went to Fruity Loops, you know. There's people...
Fruity Loops. I purchased that and it pissed me off.
Dude, like... So, like...
I went to the store... I went to the, like, big-ass Guitar Center music store. And the guy who just plays guitar told me to purchase this version.
Yeah.
You know, I purchased it, get there. The version is not even what I expected. And then there's so much detail in it when I feel, you know, obviously, you know, you get to work with it. It can be very helpful, but, I mean, the other ones I've worked with have been, you know, more easygoing while at the same time more detailed and at, once again, a better price. And, you know, I'm not any guy that's, you know, picky this, picky that, but I mean, a wise man picks his platforms and his software correctly, and
they're tools,
whatever works
you know,
best.
Yeah, you gotta pick your tools.
I mean, and what is the most common lines or subjects that you hear in artist lyrics that you work with?
Shit.
Like, I mean, there's several themes, you know.
Yeah. Well,
you've worked with a lot of artists, so you had to have heard a common denominator amongst the songs.
Well, with my background, you know, I went from bands and like singer-songwriters to a lot of hip hop artists, rappers, R&B artists, and even like the R&B artists. I don't know maybe it's just like the area, you know.
Oh God!
Maybe it's just
bro.
the scene, you know. But there's definitely a lot of, and I think it's just part of hip hop culture too. It's you as an artist trying to prove that you are better, you know, or that you can hang with the best, you know. Like there's
trying to flex.
And yeah, and I mean, I get it. It's a huge part of the culture for you to you know, show your skill, you know, your stamina, your wordplay.
There's an old song, you know, damn, it feels good to be a gangsta. And I love this line. It says, real gangsters ain't never gotta flex they fucking nuts, cause real gangsters know they fucking got 'em. I mean, it's pretty true, because, I mean, at the end of the day, the people who really have it, they're not really too boastful or talking about it, because, I mean, Bill Gates doesn't explain how much money he has. Jeff Bezos doesn't explain how much money they have. I mean, unless, obviously,
he did make a rocket ship,
rappers like Drake and stuff, who's... I guess their role in modern times is to flex, and then Post Malone, everybody is to just, because that's the current trend. But back in the day, I mean, I don't feel it was as common to just flex. It was more common to rap about current problems and injustice. So, for example, if someone were to write about, say, theoretically, obviously we're in a pandemic, so if someone were to write more about what's going on in the pandemic, or their supposed feeling injustice with the cops, or you know, any actual struggle, instead of, oh, I'm struggling when I'm really just fucking, you know, living in my mom's apartment. That's not really struggling. You're in a house over your head. I promise, like, you know, you live in your car, you go to other country, you go to Pakistan, you will see people struggling.
Yeah.
Because my buddy tells me a story. You know, people complain to servers here, but a server drops something in Pakistan, and the GM comes up behind him, slaps him in the face once, backhands him again, and the guy's just like, sorry, because like, you know, it's no mercy in other countries, but we in America just complain. But I mean, a healthy man is a wealthy man, as I like to say. And you know, if I'm not in the hospital, and if I'm able to sit here, create, sit here, gain wisdom, sit here and collaborate, you know, it could always be much worse.
Oh no, definitely. You know, like, I totally agree with you. You know, the healthy man is a wealthy man, just because, like,
I mean, look at it like this. Would you rather be in a court case where you got ran over by an 18-wheeler and lost both of your legs, but you got $500,000?
Yeah.
Or would you rather have both of your legs and be healthy, knowing that, okay, I certainly have life ahead of me, but I mean, say you're a kid, you lost both legs, you're never going to get to play any sports, do anything like that, and bam.
I would definitely. I mean, you
can't
my health.
You know, you can't replace your health, but you can easily. I mean, if you have confidence, like, I mean, we're making music. A lot of people, I guess, their goal with music is to go big, so they don't have to work.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you don't have any legs and stuff, how are you gonna fucking even get to drive to the studio when you don't have a ride, or you know, how are you gonna go outside? There's just, I mean, different people have different values, but
definitely.
The wise man holds his health at top priority, because even though I can't sound hypocritical, because I do smoke a lot, so you know, that's why I drink my coffee to clear my throat.
I actually have a friend. He was a guy that came into my classroom when I was like in 5th grade. So not a friend at all, right? But he was just the speaker.
Let's be clear.
It was just I was like in 5th grade, and he told us a story that he had a friend who was like super wealthy, but he had cancer, and it was, you know, there was nothing they could really do anything about it, you know. But he had all this money, and at the end of the day, that money couldn't do anything for him, you know. So he was like, and here I am, a man who isn't exactly wealthy, but I'm good. Now, not only am I good financially, but more importantly, I'm good health-wise, you know. Like, I have more technically than my friend does, because he can't really do anything with that money anymore, you know. Or I mean, he can, but at the end of the day, like, his health is declining, you know. And I feel like that's something a lot of people don't focus. Like, a lot of artists, like, don't get me wrong, the grind is so important, you know, just hustling and trying to get your music out there, and trying to get yourself out there as an artist, promoting yourself, doing shows. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you are good, you know, because...
Look at Mac Miller.
Yeah, dude, and so many
Kurt Cobain.
So many other artists that, like, were super talented, who worked so hard at their craft, but they completely missed on taking care of themselves and they were miserable. They,
Right.
you know, they were just miserable people who were super blessed and were in a very fortunate position, but ultimately they couldn't see, and you know, they couldn't take full advantage of everything they had because, you know, mentally, emotionally, physically, or whatever, they were not in a good point, you know.
So, of all the things that you learned, what was the most valuable lesson that you learned in the music game?
Oh man, fuck.
So many lessons come with
So
the
many
game.
lessons. Definitely know your. It's gonna sound cheesy as fuck. Definitely know your worth. You know, I've definitely had plenty of artists who have told me, you know, record me and I'll promote you. You know, for like, but they want it for free. You know, and I was like, yo,
Right.
you know, I'm gonna, you know, record me for free and I'll make sure to bring you with me when I make it big. I was like, first of all, I don't. First of all, I don't even know who the fuck you are. Really, no one knows who you are. So what does that mean to me? You know.
I promise I'm gonna blow up after this song, bro.
I've literally had artists who were like, "Yo, man, I'm on the brink of something," and they'll show me their music, and I'm like, "The music is good. The music is dope. Don't get me wrong," but like, there are no matter. Here's another thing: no matter how good you are, there's always gonna either be someone better, or there's gonna be someone who's more charismatic that other people like more than you. Not because they're more talented, just because they're more likable. You know? So.
And it's like, you know, some people like country music and hate rap. Some people, you know, love rap and hate country music.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, some people just prefer different kinds. And, you know, no matter what, I believe it was somebody from Maroon 5, you know, they've been on fire making good music ever since, like, This Love. But he even said himself, there are still people that hate me and hate my music, and I'm even a celebrity that chicks love. But even someone like that still has people that hates his music. Here's a song. Next. So, I mean,
Yeah.
if that doesn't tell you something, just as an underground artist, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
And I mean, as an underground artist, I feel like, you know, it's just a blessing in general to perform no matter how big or little the crowd, because in places like where I'm from, you know, back home with only small towns in Mississippi, you don't get as many regular opportunities to perform. And then, you know, you move somewhere to a big city, there's so much more places. So that's why if you live in a small area, it sucks to say, but you know, sometimes you gotta be like, hey, I made it out, and then you know, go about it and take the opportunity, because you can't let opportunities around you go to waste.
Oh
You know
no,
what I'm saying?
yeah, that's definitely that's definitely a lesson that I've learned is you kind of have to take the opportunities as they come. Just because I have let opportunities pass by, and I kind of saw them unfold, and the people who, you know, took the chance, you know, it propelled them, and I was like, damn, like, I was scared to take that chance, and, you know, I'm still here or whatever. But I have taken opportunities where I have met certain people and they helped me, you know, or I have taken chances, like with sessions, you know, because I've had producers, they're like, yo, do you want to get on the session? You know, like, I can't, I have a client, I gotta go, but if you want to record them, you know, I'll give you the credit, I'll give you some money, whatever, but, you know. And I did the session, the artist was really impressed by me, you know, he put a good word in for me with the producer was like, yo, I don't know what you did, but the artist really liked you, you know. And that's actually given me gigs, you know, just kind of working through other people. And I could have just been like, no, or I could have been like, what if I mess up? And I'm like, yeah, if I mess up, obviously, you know, I'm probably not gonna get, you know, the job or whatever. But I actually did a really good job, you know, because I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right.
And that gave me more gigs, and that put me in a
I mean,
really
I know
good.
what I'm doing.
I know what I'm fucking doing, you know, and that gave me the opportunity to have more opportunities, you know. So
If you had $2 million to move to any city in America, open up your own studio,
man.
you know, just do whatever you wanted in music, in the center, heart and soul of that city, I don't think it would be Phoenix. So, which one? Just solely for a music career?
Solely for a music career. Oh, dude. See, that's.
I mean, you got Atlanta, you got LA, you got New York,
But-
all different vibes to music.
But see, that's the thing. Like, you have New York, you have Nashville, Tennessee, you have LA, you even have Florida. You know, these are all really important places in the music industry. And I know you said, like, I wouldn't want to be here in Phoenix, but one of the things about Phoenix, there's a studio called Salt Mine. There's a studio called Salt Mine, and a lot of, like, top artists have gone there.
But in my understanding, what was his name? Not Future, but what's the people
Futuristic?
say? Yeah.
Yeah.
In my understanding, people are like, "Oh, that's the only Phoenix artist that ever truly made it big, or Arizona artist." And as far as that, everybody else is just like a par. But he was a hole-in-one.
No, there's been Chester Bennington from Linkin Park. He was from here. Stevie Nicks is from here too.
As far as hip-hop artists,
Hip-hop,
individual.
Fuck, I forget.
Because we have all these AZ hip-hop fests, and, you know,
Yeah.
people know them locally and stuff, but, I mean, you go to LA, and then it's like there's just another artist there, and there's much bigger people in California.
Oh, no, definitely. Well, one of the things, you know, I feel like a lot of artists that pop up, and the places that really have a huge music culture are big cities, you know, because it's easy, you know. Well, that's not that it's easy, but you have more people allow the opportunity for a more diverse culture, you know, and more people trying to do the same thing makes it more competitive.
Yeah.
While here, there really isn't a lot. There, like, the culture isn't definitive. It's diverse, but again, it's kind of like scattered. And
I feel like everybody hates each other and they don't want to work together. And I mean, I'm trying to, like, you know, be collaborative. I've always been a guy that's like, you know, don't conflict with me, and I won't conflict with you. And I try to be greetings. But I remember the first show I ever performed at here. I went Jabbar's Hookah Lounge, Ghetto AF, Glendale, Arizona. Felt like I might get shot up at any time. But I see a bunch of artists, and I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? And they're just like, And I'm just like, okay, yeah, whatever. But I mean, I kind of figured maybe they would be, you know, willing to, you know, at least like be like, yo, what's up or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not any guy that is, you know, this or that, but I'm just trying to be hospitable, I guess, or collaborative. But like I said, it's like a war zone full of arrogance and full of, you know, my shit don't stink, but yours does. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. And that's why I feel in the Phoenix game, in the AZ game, if you find some people, you gotta hold those people, because I feel like in the blink of an eye, some will just, all right, I don't mess with you anymore. And also, I believe there's already people on the timeline and within the circle that probably already are fake as fuck.
No,
you know,
no, definitely.
And I just like, honestly, I just wait for the timing, and I already know it's gonna happen. But I'm just like, you know, laugh while you want, but the time is coming, my friend.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll just let them have their fun while they can. But you know, everything has an end eventually.
But that's on. I guess that's on the, because I do agree. That's something that I've heard a lot from other artists who come here from other states is that a lot of the artists that are from here, or the culture that is here in Phoenix, is very it's very self-destructive. It's very competitive, but not in a healthy way, you know. And I totally get that, but I guess the reason why I would start a studio here in Phoenix is because, one, there isn't a lot of big studios here. So like if I were to go make a studio in, say, in LA, there's plenty of studios in LA. Like the competition would be high, you know.
Yeah.
Like I would probably get a lot. Maybe I would probably get a lot more quality artists, but like again, it would be me. Like my competition isn't the artists. My competition is the other studios.
And I mean, you hear I guess 90% of celebrities, where are they located or what are they? Cali, LA, Hollywood,
Probably, yeah.
this and that. You don't really see too many other homes for them.
Yeah.
And then they always, Cali weed, Cali music, California love,
Yeah.
you know, Hotel California.
Yeah. No,
What else do you want, bro? Fuck.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure why, but there's a studio here in Phoenix that goes by Salt Mine, and they've recorded like Lil Wayne, Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, Lil Nas. They've recorded huge bands.
Oh, Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah, dude, and I was just like, yo, that's a you know, the list went on, and it was like a bunch of big artists, and I've heard that a lot of people like to come to Arizona to record vocals, specifically because just because I guess there isn't a lot of like
Trees
other
around,
artists,
so like it doesn't echo or something.
Well, I think one of the reasons. No, I think it's because because Cali, you know, any Cali or any other capital, you know, music capital in the country, their studios are always super booked, you know, and because Arizona isn't as saturated, there's more of a chance the schedule's more open.
So when I was in Nashville, it definitely was more so.
Oh no, definitely.
Booked.
Nashville's crazy. Nashville's crazy.
Unless you had your own, and I still got a buddy there who said he had to just finally do his own shit because, everybody around, they were just into country music, and then if you wanted to go anywhere official, it was already booked. So fucking Hank Williams Jr. and Hank Williams, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No country boy can survive. So, I invented a game. It's called 15.
Okay.
You know, we don't need to play blackjack anymore. That's
okay.
Overrated. So.
And you invented this game.
You're trying to get to the number 15.
Okay.
If it's a 10, or if it's a face card, you can divide it by 2. And, if it's a ace, you can keep it as is, or you can make it a 6.
Interesting.
So,
very interesting. Okay.
my friend, I'm going to play a hand with you.
It's steady. Nice.
Cut the deck.
Oh shit, those are slippery. Here you go, sir.
Slippery like a slope. Alright. Alright. Take a look at your other card.
Okay.
Damn! 15 on the first one!
Damn, for real. What the fuck?
15 on the first one!
Oh, shit.
I mean, look at that.
That's-
It can't be rigged. How can we have anything else?
Yeah, look at that.
Let's hold up the cards here.
That's funny.
Hold them up for us. 15, 15. I mean, look at this. You just have winners sitting right here. Winners, chicken dinners.
That's hilarious.
So, as a result, I'm going to give you this free shirt.
Oh,
Being on the show today,
thank you, man.
winning the prize.
And it's
I mean, even though it was a draw. You know. But I mean, I don't know if anybody else can come and fuck with me in 15.
Oh, yeah.
15, W15E. Sam Waz, Spudnik, Danny the producer. Hit him up for some studio time, mixing, mastering, beat making. Does it all here in Phoenix, AZ. You know he's a plug. Always. Time available. Any last words, my brother?
Thank you for having me on your show, dude.
Yeah,
It's
man.
been
Words of the wise. You know, we here. Episode 1. More to come, my
More to
brothers
come,
and
he says.
sisters. And until next time, I will see you then.
That's good stuff, man.